Can't do this in person. Anyways, for all those attending, for all seven, thank you so much. My name is Edward Chow. I'm the creative director for Redwood Classics. I also lead our project by the name of Social Textiles. And today we're just going to talk about Redwood, and we're going to talk about kind of this sustainable all over print phenomenon of what we're doing in social textiles. As part of this community, you know that if you came to NOLA, you got these all over print T-shirts. They were printed with the technology that I'm heading right now, as well for the unfortunate one that did not take place in Austin. If you received that mask pack, the all over print is printed with our sustainable ink technology. As well, those other masks in that 3-pack are crafted right behind me over here, proudly in Toronto, Ontario. And so I think the main thing to take away from today is sustainability, sustainability, sustainability. And if you've ever attended any of, let's say like our kind of collaborative calls, or if we've ever spoken, you know that at Redwood Classics, we define sustainability in two folds. Number one is the environmental, and number two is socio-economical. Okay, and what does that really mean? When it comes to the environmental aspect, if you tuned in for that amazing panel that Kathy was on, she name dropped our, impact report, which was really, really fun to make. Basically, we teamed up with a sustainability specialist, and then afterwards, we kind of went through our kind of 10-year retrospective to see what have we improved, what were we doing as a company, right? And just really quickly, we don't have too much time for a lot of stats, but almost, I can't say almost, but 70% of the fabric that we consume here in the factory level, right behind me, is actually knitted within 100 miles radius from the factory. And you can see this within the sustainability report. And I do believe Allison also shared this in the talk with Kathy. So it's a really great report. I really highly recommend you read it, not just for yourself to learn about more of the Redwood Classic story, but actually to use it as your marketing tool. Because when we developed it, I really had this in mind that we might not be able to do in-person, factory tours anymore, or not anytime soon, at least here, right? And if one of your clients do want to learn more about the Redwood Classics brand, right, and want to know our story and what we're doing, the impact report is really something that we feel like can help you guys out. Another one too, we also cover our direct energy use and how that's gone down, as well as indirect and the greenhouse gas emissions. Now, the biggest thing when I kind of came into this industry and started to learn about it was a lot of this dry fit talk, or like this try blend. And what I learned through my research was that those essentially are glorified synthetic materials. Synthetic means plastic. And just looking at some statistics and trying to learn more about sustainability within garment manufacturing as well as our industry, is that I found out that 72% of those synthetic fiber clothing sits in our landfill for 200 years or sometimes more, because that's how long it takes to break down. And I would look at our catalog and I would see, okay, we do predominantly do cotton, but then I can also see some poly cotton blend. So then I went into another wormhole and I tried to look for, some stats again to kind of learn more. And I found that whenever you're purchasing, be it in this industry or just your natural spending habits, when you're looking at that care label, and if you see acrylic, if you see polyester, what impact does it have? And it wasn't until I watched this pretty great short doc from Vox on YouTube covering this, and it shows that, and basically this graph shows the amount of fibers that are released during those washes, which is a pretty significant amount. But you can see that once you even introduce, polyester cotton blends, that you can really mitigate that impact that you're causing the earth. And what it kind of relates to, and why I want to talk about this, is our SAOP, Sustainable All Over Print. Right now, I am wearing something from our Sustainable Overprint printer. Just if you guys are wondering, my outfit today was heavily inspired by Rowing Blazers. They're a brand out of New York. They recently just collaborated with Seiko on some watches. Pretty cool. But our Sustainable Overprint, going back to that, is really our unique way to bring a sustainable imprint or sustainable decoration to our marketplace, as well as retail space. We'll cover Redwood Classics a little after this, but kind of let's focus in on the sustainable overprint. We are first in Canada to have this technology still. I've been leading the R&D, and it's been a fun, crazy, wild ride, but very meaningful because I really got to see, someone like the Creative Boulevard team get ahead of the curve and adopt this for one of their projects, as well to see a lot of these retail brands make the initiative and make such a conscious effort to find more sustainable ways to decorate. And so you can see on this side, it's really what our technology can kind of execute. This is more on the retail level. We do have some examples afterwards within our kind of industry. But this one was within retail, printed with our machine, made by those makers that are right behind me, that Kathy and I interact with on a daily basis. And so on the far left, you see this amazing Paisley polo golf shirt, 100% cotton PK. And then afterwards, you have this beautiful Paisley print. And then you have this really nice plaid print. And if you guys tuned in to Kathy's, session, you see that she's wearing that same exact print. And again, it's 100% biodegradable. It's Prop 65 compliant. We don't need any screens or film or like excess water. It's all kind of self-contained. And one of the beauties, and maybe it's more, maybe this is more for myself, is there's no pre-mixing of ink. So if you've been to like a print, screen print studio, you'll see that people are over there, putting in this ink and making that color. The beauty, and I guess the easy part for me, is there's no pre-mixing. Everything is kind of on the spot. What really is like a benefit is, number one, we're not wasting ink. Because what if after the job, I'm not sure if you've seen, but they might have like a custom reflex blue, but nothing in the line is going to use this reflex blue anytime soon. Well, what happens, right? You have this excess ink, eventually just gets dumped. And let me just cover the far right, which is a duck camo that we worked on, and it was printing on colored ground. So it is possible, but we can definitely kind of go into it should there be a project that presents itself. Just really quickly, I just wanted to cover that. I did mention the biodegradable ink, Prop 65, as well within our industry, being fashion and textiles, there's an Ecotex certification. And so the ink that we're using carries the certification. That diagram I sent, that I kind of shared beforehand about the 70% of the fabrics that we consume are knitted within 100 miles radius. Our yarn actually carries these certifications as well. Within the ink, we also have a GOTS certification, which is very, very important. That stands for Global Organic Trade Standard, right? And we have the level 5 certification, really, really amazing. Kate, I think you should be in this. You should be in this right here, because I haven't opened it, but I think I know which project it is, and I think it's in this deck as well. But with this SAOP, not only can you start to do stripes like this, but you can also kind of create accents within your piece or within that merchandise program. So you'll see over here, we did an SAOP. So again, that is sustainable all over print. Oh, I know, Kate. And so you'll see that it's on the side, and we really got these nice accents on that piece, as well as joggers. Sometimes if you don't want anything too loud, you can actually make it into an accent by the pocket. And here's another one. Another stat for you guys, but for this machinery, for this particular ink set and this particular technology of SAOP, predominantly it was used on what we call woven fabrics, right? So those are like a nicer structured weave, and sometimes there'd be heavy polyester, or sometimes there'd be cotton. But as Redwood Classics and WS & Co, for those that have heard that name before, is the factory predominantly produces 100% cotton knits. So our challenge was, how do we take this technology and nail down 3 factors that are really important? Of course, if you're in this industry, it's going to be saturation, vibrancy, and sharpness. Okay, how do you nail all that? Because on wovens, what it was made for, you could see it no problem. But on knits, historically, that always posed as a problem. So through that was really learning, okay, well, how do our fabrics work? And then we eventually nailed down the secret sauce. And that's why you'll see that, I know. I got to tame all this product geek kind of knowledge. But that's why you'll see that even wearing this myself, and if you tuned into Kathy's session, was that there's vibrancy to it. It's not the dullness that you would have seen in past kind of digital print. And then, so that's kind of what we've done really for the never tame. Thank you. Look, this is like a Twitch stream. I'm like going back and forth between the between the slides and the comments. And so we've covered our future, which is what we're doing right now and working towards. And this is more of a sustainable model within our value chain. And then within that, you saw on the earlier slide is we had a slide on the socioeconomic impact. And that's really where, if you've heard it before or you've attended, that's what kind of falls into our supplier diversity. Okay, and you'll see that under that Redwood Classics logo on this slide, it has Campsie, Weeby Canada, Women Owned, and those are kind of all encompassing the supplier diversity umbrella. So within the state, it's going to be the NMSDC or the We Bank. That's kind of where we can come in. That's $1 billion round table. We can always cover it another time. And please feel free to reach out. I know for sure I may go a little over, but this is why the commonsku team's in place. And so you see that within retail, we are considered tier 1, and then within our space over here, we're tier 2. Okay, and then afterwards, I just wanted to give you guys a quick cheat sheet. Well, not cheat sheet, maybe an understanding. This is what we do at Redwood Classics. So you see the knitting, the dyeing, the laundry, the cutting, sewing, decoration, finishing, shipping. We house all of that just behind us. And I know you guys can't hear this, but there's work being done. I can hear it beyond my earphones. But that's what we do here. And then one of the things that we can accommodate, that second one was dyeing. So we've been working a lot on these sand washes or these pigment dyes. And you see that within retail, we really see a big trend. As well in Redwood Classics, we've been doing sand washes for a very, very long time. Almost like we're expert. Oh, we might have a guest popping in. Okay. Quick little cheat sheet for you guys. The guide to our program. So I know in the past when we have been at SKUCon or SKU Camp, it was like, okay, I thought you guys wanted to do custom. If there's one thing or two things, first one's being SAOP. If there is, the second thing I want you guys to leave off with today is a guide. So within the Redwood Classics program, for blank garments, 1 unit. That's all it is. For white labeling, as in putting your own neck label on the neck of the garment, 12 units. Decorated in terms of embroidery and screen print. I know you're just teleporting. Embroidery and screen print is going to be 36 units. That's your minimum. To do full custom cut and sew, or to do something like this that you see over here, like instead of a yarn dye rugby, we're doing a printed stripe rugby. It will start at 200 units. And I really encourage you guys after this session, just hop onto our website, just do some browsing, almost like you're shopping for yourself, and head over to our foundation collection, because that is something that Kathy, myself, and the rest of the team really worked on. And our goal was to refine the Redwood Classics body and kind of bring in that new generation of buyers, the Gen Zs, the millennials, really targeting the cannabis companies, the breweries, the tech companies, because we know that some the fit might be a lot more flattering. So we have a crew neck that I know Alvin really loves, this Hampton mock that I personally love, and I know that any of you part of Promo Kitchen, you'll see Johanna wears hers loud and proud, like her foundation collection. And then we have this nice little styling for when you Ashley, thank you. I love it too. I should wear that. No, I got to wear the print stuff. And then we have the Banff hoodie, which is also Alvin's favorite. So funny enough, when we were making the samples, Alvin ended up taking the first one because he just loved it that much. And then we have our Fox Starters that you all know and love, because we also made this part of the SKU Camp package of, actually that was New Orleans. So that's what we did. And actually, this is what I was saying, and I'm not sure, Kate, if you were referring to this piece, but Creative Boulevard, another one of our commonsku friends, they were the first to kind of get ahead of the curve and make this SAOP t-shirt, right, for one of their clients. So it was a really fun project, really encourage this kind of stuff, and hopefully we can all kind of collaborate together. Here's some more things incorporating, just a simple tone-on-tone flock logo, and then full custom again. Actually, shout outs to the Creative Boulevard team. A custom piece, all made in Canada, and just making the best that we can do. Did you notice my background? Oh, I did actually. But anyways, for everyone that is in here, my name is Edward. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I even see that Chad, are you in this? Are you in this? Because you sent me a direct message. I hope you're doing well. I love that you were featured on our Factory Friday. But everyone, back to the main room. Thank you so much. Please reach out if you have any questions or you want to talk any sort of shop. Thanks, guys. Take care.